Let's come to the last question. So that is about the like we all watch the movies on these OTTs and web series and on OTT platforms. And as you know, all movies are being just released now on the OTT platforms. So in terms of the people who do the marketing for the news, they have to connect with the subscribers and have to get the views as soon as they're released. They are marketed majorly on YouTube. They use a lot of short form content to get social media shares going and drive potential subscribers to watch the movies on this platform. So I'll start with Muskaan on any great examples of how these movies or web series are being marketed.
you know since this pandemic has hit, I think two things that have had, I think everyone would be grateful, is for OTT and family time. And these both, when they integrated together, was a next level combination, because you're bringing, a, whatever, when I was thinking about what could be OTT platforms and campaigns and how would they turn the table around, is something when PVR, multiplex, and then Hotstar and everything. Yeah. So when Disney plus Hotstar came with like Sadak 2 and all of the Lakshmi Bomb and all of that, what they marketed is that first day first show at your house. That's what something was really brilliant, I must say, was that, because we, when there's a favorite actor, you have a favorite superhero, even a favorite director, and you know the storyline, you know what the story is about, but it's just that you still want to go see it. And with OTT, they made sure that people do not miss the fact that it's premiere. They're like, you can literally watch it at the comfort of your homes, first day, first show, at your own time. Still, it's premiere. And the fact that it's only available to VIP services or something like that, kind of, obviously, I think boosted a lot of their sales, because people are like, oh, I can't watch this on my normal Hotstar. And because Hotstar also developed three subscription plans from one. And so with that, it was something which was quite interesting. Also, after the untimely disease of Sushant Singh Rajput and its movie launching, I feel that Hotstar, I don't want to be sounding crude, but it is true that Hotstar did take the benefit of it. They, what they did was that the production company, and they decided that it will be allowed to be filmed for everyone for free, rather than just using premium. That also attracted a lot of consumers who were not using Hotstar, because they know, because they're connected to Sushant Singh Rajput, they're connected to the story. And being a remake of Fault in Our Stars, which is such a renowned book itself, is quite interesting. When you see that they kind of used the emotions and the anger of his supporters, communicating into a gift from his side, I would mean it like that, that that you can watch your favorite superstar for the last time, like that. It has to be kind of something, but it was a kind of a good strategy also, because it kind of brought the subscribers to database, which was not there. you know Another few examples is Parle-G and Tata Tea brand association with Shakuntala Devi and Vidya Balan, where they spoke about chasing your dreams and fulfilling them. I think Parle-G is such a renowned brand, and we have lived our childhood with them. And with these brands, Tata Tea, I'm not sure, but Parle-G is something we all have had. So that's something, when a brand where oh, I had this when I was little, and just suddenly when it's transitioning into OTT campaigns, you're like, I think something must be very interesting, something. And Parle-G always had that glucose element. It was talking all about strength and sharpening minds and all of that. It was quite a nice thing. The last example that came to my mind was Nika collaborating with Gunjan Saxena. Two things amazing. Janvi Kapoor is already their brand ambassador, so Gunjan Saxena was like next level promotion for them. Gunjan Saxena became the collaborative team with Nykaa to present a very fearless girl out there, which was quite interesting, because Nika's app was changed. They changed the way it looks into Gunjan Saxena form. They made sure everyone is aware of Gunjan Saxena, because Janvi Kapoor is just starting out. when it comes to comparison to other celebrities. You have to brand it really nicely. Nike also branded, their whole packaging when it comes to like digitally, and talking about trying to put here and there through their creative content copies and everything, you know Channel your inner fearless girl with Gundan Saxena's collection. Something like that kind of promotes the movie, and also the fact that if you have such makeup and if you have such beauty and skincare products, you can touch upon the fearless aspect of the emotions. So these OTT campaigns have come up with some interesting concepts, which are really sometimes just makes me feel the creativity is so wild. It's like a land, and the sky is actually the limit. So
Yeah, totally.
so yeah.
Yeah, I think adding to all of those examples, flurry of examples, you know, there are just so many because that's what we are doing all day. Just Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hotstar, that's our life.
That's
So, yeah, but then so I'll take it in a few headings basically. First one being creating the social presence. So that's all I am about. That comes to my mind the first. Creating the social presence is something that a lot of those web series or movie teams have not leveraged, and that is very strange. So a lot of TV shows, web series that came out recently, what they did was depend on the platform that they were going to air on as their social presence. But few specifics were there who went out and created their own pages. One being my go-to, Emily in Paris. That's an entire visual. That's an entire wardrobe that got created on Instagram. Then there was Mirzapur. Now, Mirzapur season 2 was basically used by all the brands. I think any Indian brand used that. I think I remember Zomato releasing one email campaign on the day that Mirzapur season 2 came out. So a lot of brands leverage that also. Shows like This Is Us, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Breaking Bad, they've all created their own Facebook and Instagram presence before they aired, actually, to bring out that concept of mystery with just a few dialogues here and there, like, teasers and promos that they promote on YouTube. But then they created a whole page, of course, and bringing in those followers became super easy for them. That was, again, one kind of community building as well, and then promoting their content before their release date. The other aspect of it is celebrity and brand tie-ups, brand promotions with that. One very recent example of it is Mountain Dew. The way Mad Over Marketing is looking at it is they made sure that everybody will be watching the Mountain Dew ad this year, and it will become the most viewed ad of 2021. So I'm not sure if everybody here has watched that yet or not, but I do think that you guys have, because it's so going so viral on LinkedIn specifically that John Cena, first of all, is their celebrity promoter in the ad, and then they're giving out that prompt to the audience as well, with the chance to win $1 million in cash just by guessing the number of Mountain Dew watermelon flavor that are shown in the ad. So just to count those number of bottles, and because John Cena is there, that takes the credibility of the brand to a next level, right? So connecting with or tying up with brands or celebrities per se is one thing that is making a lot of difference. The third point that I have here is of persona marketing. Now we know that we are inspired by a lot of characters, right? We do all these quizzes that if I am a Daenerys or a Jon Snow or a Cersei Lannister, that's just one example. That there's a GOT quiz going on. You'll find those quizzes on Facebook or any platforms of social. One huge example of a persona marketing, of creating an entire character and then inspiring people to be like that character, was The Queen's Gambit, the most watched show of 2020 on Netflix. And everybody wanted to, there was a huge array on YouTube when it came to dress ups, specifically of fashion influencers on Instagram too. People were dressing up like Harmon. So that became a whole marketing gimmick for the Queen's Gambit also. Just that entire look, that appearance of Harmon. And the other one is Stranger Things. People took over to dressing up like 11 or Nancy, few characters from Stranger Things, no? So they just created those characters to be so inspiring to this date. After so many years of the show having stopped already, we still see people trying to dress up like Rachel Green or Monica Geller. So that's one thing that Friends could not do back in the day when they were airing, but they are now able to leverage that very well. And the last point I think I have for this entire topic is publicity stunt. So what Game of Thrones did was, I don't remember the country exactly, but when season 8 was to be aired, they left a dragon, like a huge dragon skull on a beach. Now that was all word of mouth. So I think that was superb for a publicity stunt, because just taking a run on the beach in the morning and seeing a dragon skull is uh, like, it will hold you back, and there are no signs around that entire dragon skull at all. You won't look at it and just actually get to read it that this is done by GOT crew. But that eventually came out and people were at ease that, oh, all right, this was for the publicity of the season 8. So that was superb. But yeah, these are some points I have for OTTs that have been doing amazing work.
I think when Money Heist came with the persona, what you pointed out with persona,
Merchandise. How could I forget merchandise?
yeah,
Just reminded me of that.
merchandise is next level, and it's being exclusive merchandise is what is
Yeah.
killing the thing. Because first coming to Money Heist was when it was released, it became so overhyped show, and it became the overhyped series. And I have watched it. It's a spectacular series when it comes to storytelling, no doubt in that. But the way the personalities were portrayed became like a fashion icon. Like every damn influencer was doing recreation of Money
Yeah.
Heist character. That was something that was really quick, and our very well-known Shilpa Shetty did like a reel on it, and that was crazy. Even in adding the point you said about merchandise, it's like very important. Limited editions with OTTs is something which they're coming up recently.
Yeah.
Like it was before, but now they're also coming up. One example of not OTT platforms but brands collaborating was Tinder and Adidas. This was an ad I actually recently just saw.
Yeah.
It was, I think it was just a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't imagine Tinder and Adidas coming together at one platform. I just
Yeah.
can't. But they did it. So similarly, OTTs are also trying to do like never seen before collaborations. They're not going for the usual. They want to do something which is preppy, because they want to create a database as big as maybe Netflix, their competitors, and trying to get every bit of that. When a Hotstar Plus or Hotstar and Disney came together, I think there was a rage, because some people were happy, some people were not, and it created such a hustle bustle on the platforms. I feel. How these other brands, for example, comment on the situations the brands are going is also a trend of digital marketing now.
Yeah.
For example, the Mintra logo was such a hustle bustle
Oh,
recently.
yeah.
um, I also I wrote a LinkedIn post about reviewing my perspective, and in my opinion, I feel it is about a person's perspective. I never ever thought in that way, that it could offend someone, and especially coming from the women community, I did not even think in that way.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you just think that, oh my god, people have such imagination. They sometimes it also includes the cultural aspect, as I had said before. And there are brands who came out in support. There's not like that, they did not. And I think now digital marketing is a community itself, whereas they are trying to build and they're trying to have each other's back. If some brand has a very bad PR thing that has happened with them, other brands are backing them up.
Yeah.
Maybe some quirky, but maybe why not? So there are brands now joining the bandwagon. But coming back to OTT, it is the next big thing. But now the major competition is PVR, because as Nikhil also had mentioned before, that the cinemas are almost about to open to 100%.
Right.
And
Right.
in some states it's already open to 100%. But the question comes, will the audience go? But I think the stoppage point is when the movies itself will stop airing on OTTs, and they will not be able to find, there will be difficulty in that, and the consumer will be really pushed to go to in these times to go and
Yeah.
watch. Maybe it could be that movie doesn't run and then they
Yeah,
collaborate with.
basically, also one thing was that, see, now with the major movies and all, there's so much of space that they take with the cinemas and everything. And if such spaces can be utilized for so many smaller artists
Hmm.
to this thing, that is also something to look into, because end of the day, the cinema, there's so many losses in that and running and all anyway. So they can give it to so many artists to use the real estate of that. So definitely that can really drive their business, because end of the day they are owning all that space, and the artists can also have these, because now the artists are having so many of these communities that they built online. So now they can start doing the physical events also on a small scale. Obviously, it's not like necessary that you have to have a following of lakhs of people to have an event, right? So you
Right.
can have a smaller artist with smaller community, smaller event, and it's more personalized experience.
Also, what I feel is that I totally agree, but I feel like with OTTs we have been so confined, and I think it's just like a bad habit we have all developed, because there was a time before pre-COVID OTTs were very limited, and in a limited in the way of people subscribing to them, not being that availability about them. Basically, the fact that for example, if I was an avid watcher, I did not expect someone from elderly, from my family or my friends to sit on a screen whole day and just watch in a room. But I was used to it. But with the whole COVID-19 and the pandemic, it has confined everyone to their home. So they have, come and say, oh, now it will come on Hotstar, it will come on Netflix one day, we'll watch it there. What's the use of going out and watch? So, everyone has developed this bad habit, and tomorrow you never know, OTT might take the advantage of that. But let's see
Yeah,
what.
but there are a lot of other activities that can be done
Yeah,
in a complex. Yeah,
I'm really keen to see how PVRs are gonna make it around, because
definitely.
PVR has to come up with a marketing strategy, because they have been really just told to shut up for like 8 months, and they are like space where they have to attract people, because they have a very bigger challenge that how they're going to combat the fact that the transmission of COVID-19. I mean, I can't expect people sitting with masks all the time in the hall, because they're eating, they're drinking, they're watching movie, they're talking all the time. And even the fact that they can't do social distancing or half occupancy, it didn't make sense. So I'm really curious to know. I think what would be interesting to see if PVR actually extends their space to rather than movies, maybe to theatrical performances, or to somewhat like artisan communities like you have spoken about. It'd be an interesting take to take that, because I'm quite excited